There were two kinds of Kunio games, the sports games and the brawlers. Of the brawlers, there were two kinds, the straightforward ones like Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun / Renegade, and the ones with RPG elements like the mighty River City Ransom. According to the emulation community, there was also River City Ransom 2, but there's really not. It's Shodai Nekketsu Kouha Kunio-kun. The game begins with Kunio and his pals arriving in Osaka on a field trip, along with Riki if you're playing 2 players. And I don't mean to spoil the story right away, but take one look at this guy. It's exactly what you think. Anyway, they quickly get involved in a gang war for control of the Osaka streets. Pretty accurately recreated Osaka streets too, though you'll be seeing the subway and underground malls the most. I've been to Osaka many times, and the 3 Midosuji line stations of Umeda, Shinsaibashi and Namba are here, and you can ride or walk between them. You even get to walk on the Dotonbori Bridge, and go up the Tsutenkaku Tower. I have to believe that Sega's Toshihiro Nagoshi took some inspiration from these games. Maybe he even took inspiration from the product placement? The real-life restaurant Lotteria and the alcohol producer Kirin are both here. So, like River City Ransom, the world is open, although more staggeredly so in this game as you need to get subway passes to unlock more areas to travel to. You walk around, get into fights, level up and find story events. There's many more of those this time around. In River City Ransom the city was full of gang members, but here the whole city is out to get you. Random encounters will happen with any of the citizens of Osaka joining in, and when not in an encounter, you can also attack anyone at any time. You can also talk to them if you want. Beating people up gets you experience points, and you level up like a standard RPG here. You don't need to eat a bunch of items at restaurants anymore. Here there's only a vending machine. I do like the streamlined approach for this, although I do miss the stores at the same time. There are a few similarities to Renegade. Like when you get access to the bike, that scene looks very reminiscent of the intro to that game. And how enemies sometimes duck to avoid your jump kick looks right out of Renegade. I understand why the game was called River City Ransom 2 online, but unfortunately I don't think it lives up to that moniker. There are no big flaws in this game, but a lot of small ones that add up. At the bottom of the scale is how you get HP and what is basically MP, but the status screen only shows your current max, not how much you have at any given point, nor does the game tell you how much key power any, let's call it magic for simplicity's sake, uses up. Some items like the prepaid card, which acts like money for the vending machine, and later on the slot machine, they stack, but the inventory doesn't say how many you have. The other items don't stack, and you get some useless items from battles like sea monkeys, which you have to painstakingly throw away, one by one. Moving up on the scale, the game takes a long time to get going and doesn't give a good first impression. As you level up, your stats of course go up, and the pretty striking sluggishness of the game earlier on is gone. And when you earn abilities like the jump kick and judo throws, the combat gets more fun, but it takes a good while to get to that part. Weapons are everywhere, but unfortunately they're pretty useless. They don't do much damage, some of them break after a while, and if you're trying to fight someone near to a weapon, you might find yourself in the cycle of picking it up, getting hit because it took too long, trying to pick it up again, etc. Sometimes you have allies with you, and they are also pretty useless. They are invincible, which is nice, but they really don't do any damage and they can hit you, and they tend to get in the way of enemies a lot, which makes things harder for you.
Good.
You're supposed to be able to block by hitting Y as you get hit, but due to some kind of programming snafu, it doesn't work. I played through the whole game by hitting Y a lot, and seeing his block sprite flash by maybe once. Enemies, however, block whenever they feel like, and they can't die while blocking, which irritated me a little. The graphics are good for 1992 with some nice 3D-like scrolling effects, and this water effect also looks quite good. There is some slowdown though, but on the other hand the game manages more enemies on the screen than Technos' own Super Double Dragon that came out the same year. River City Ransom was a game you could jump into and have some fun even if you weren't going to try and beat it that time. This is not a game like that. It's a game that takes patience, and the nature of its system makes it feel like the Castlevania 2 of Kunio games. It's a slow burn, but it's still good if you have the patience.